Hello, everybody. Welcome to
Comedy Movie Show.
Today we'll be bringing you our top 5 movie villains.
All right.
From movies from our heart's desire. So, all right. My number 1 is the Alien Queen from the movie Aliens. Not Alien, because there's no queen in that one, but the Alien Queen from Aliens. That bitch was just a fucking hard to take down as shit. Took a big ass explosion to take her down.
Yeah.
And then, she was at, and I thought it did show one thing, that the aliens actually do feel sentiment for their own race.
Oh, yeah, because when she threatened to burn them, she was like,
whoa, wait a minute, wait.
Okay, back them off. It's cool.
And then she did it anyways. He tried her best.
And then the Alien Queen got pissed. And then, that Ripley shot her womb, basically. Shot at her womb and shit. And then she got disconnected. The Alien Queen also, her design looks sick. I love the Alien Queen.
With the
big head, and the bigger size and shit. She actually does look pretty cool. All right, that's my number 1. What's your number 1, Sean?
My number 1 is the Joker from The Dark Knight. Now, I dug it so much because it was so unique, and it felt like the Joker, the anarchist, this guy who's just straight up insane. Like,
yeah,
that Joker was so ridiculous,
completely
so
nailed.
Good.
Joker.
He's to me the best villain like I've ever seen on a screen in any superhero movie. Like I'm a big Marvel fan. You know this. But that is the best superhero villain. That's the best performance. Like, to me, the best performance by anyone in a superhero movie. Because he was just so convincing as this crazy mad guy. This dude who has a plan, but you don't know if he has a plan. This anarchist who just wants to blow the world up just to blow the fucking world up. Like, he has no plan. He just wants to prove that everyone's like him. I mean, he held, one of the problems I have with The Dark Knight, though, when I think about it, now that I'm talking about it, is he held that movie up so much. Because there were some things I'm just like, what makes it any better than the first Batman Begins, which is him. Heath Ledger as the Dark Knight, God rest his soul. Hope Jared Leto does good with the role, but that was fantastic.
My number 1, I'm going to have to go to Darth Vader.
Darth
Vader is just so like we said, he's a concept of the Star Wars series, but also, can you think of a villain that's just so he's got a good backstory. He's got reasons.
I mean, this
is iconic. Fine, number 1.
He's got a great backstory. On top of that, his powers of the Force are incredible. I mean,
I got a villain in my list that could kick Darth Vader's ass.
Too bad no one gives a fuck about him.
Didn't he? Yeah, but you forgot Darth Vader killed that guy.
Yeah,
not the Emperor. I'm not talking about the Emperor. I'm talking about another guy on my list.
But yeah, Darth Vader basically in general.
Who's the embodiment of pure evil? And, I'll save it.
I thought you were talking about Darth Vader. I'm like, not completely evil.
Still, but no, I have a villain that could easily just go.
Darth Vader is literally. He was born from the Force. He wasn't born from any parents. His mother.
Well, actually, wait. Here's the thing. I did hear that LucasArts or someone discredited the prequels as canon. So the prequels are not canon anymore. Not anymore. They're not.
Yeah, they just said fuck the prequels.
Fuck the prequels. So basically, no. I mean, if they didn't say that, you'd be right. But they just fucked.
And another thing I liked about his character was the redemption at the end. I liked the redemption a lot.
The final act of killing the Emperor.
Yeah. It was something new at the time, too.
Even though he messed up so much, I hated Anakin in the third one because I hated the way he became, but the redemption at the end.
He's murdered.
I mean, I did understand why he turned that way.
He was scared of his future.
Yeah, he was scared because he saw, a vision of Padme dying, and he didn't want that to happen. But that's the thing. We don't know. Here's the thing. He saw her dying because of his actions. He didn't know that. So, fate has kind of a cruel card to play in that one. My number 2 is Agent Smith. Agent Smith?
Yeah.
I never knew that. I just call him the agent. The agent from the Matrix. These guys are just...
Oh, there.
No, here's the thing. The actual humans that tap into the Matrix, they have elite kung fu skills. They are freaking marksmen.
Yeah.
But when they go up against an agent, all bets are off. They're strong. They're unfeeling. They're sentient. They're quick. They can tap into anyone in the Matrix at will. Basically, they tap into just regular people that are tapped into the Matrix and take over their bodies. You can't kill them. Or, you can, but if you do that, then you do what Neo did.
It's like, oh, damn it.
You can't technically kill them. They're fast. They're and they know all these kung fu skills.
Oh, you're gonna specify? I thought you were talking about literally Agent Smith himself, because he's totally different than just the other agents. He is an entity.
I'm talking about the agents as a whole. But you're right. Agent Smith. That's the thing about them being. Well, that's the thing. They're sentient. They have feelings. They have goals. They have driven. The other agents just want to fulfill their programming and keep the humans out of the Matrix. That's their programming, to keep them out. But Smith wants to get out of the Matrix so he can destroy all human beings because he sees humans as a cancer.
He has a mind of his own. He's a totally different.
And that's the thing. The machines who created the Matrix, who created Smith, the machines who use us as batteries, they said, he's got to go. And that's the thing. You know when the guys who want to destroy all human beings say, all right, let's stop killing each other and get rid of him, please.
Because he's that bad.
And then because he's that bad. All right.
Number 2.
My number 2 would have to be, I'm thinking, like, I'll keep going back and forth between all these different characters, all these different
You can put them
villains.
both. You could be like...
But I think I'm going to put the Predator. I thought the Predator was so awesome when I first saw him. The invisible camouflage. That whole sound that he makes. Him hunting them down in the forest.
The technology he has is both advanced and primitive.
Yeah, taking skulls.
That roar.
I mean, pretty much. Like, he
that roar's
is so awesome looking. I think the Predator is one of the most awesomely designed villains, like with the whole tribal kind of thing going.
The whole advanced tribal thing, and also like you know what else is iconic that some people say is the infrared vision.
Yes, the infrared vision.
The infrared vision
he sees heat.
Yeah, every time I see that too.
Well, the mask shows him the infrared vision, but if he takes it off, he just sees like red blurs and stuff. It's really weird.
I love that. Like,
I love Predator.
It's so iconic. Just that whole the infrared vision, the laser on his shoulder.
His strength is also like 10 times that of a human being. He's got the advanced weapons, but are basically like they're primitive, but they're advanced. He's got the blades.
It's like
advanced. He's got the advanced disc. He's got the plasma cannon. Got
the dizzy throws. And
basically, I mean, they're like, oh my god, it's an alien attack. But he's just like, he's out for a.
That's all he's just there on a hunting trip.
It's just like hunting.
He's just like, all right, honey, I'm going on a hunting trip. I'll see you in a few years. Honey, I'm home. Did you get any good trophies?
I got the skeletons and just putting them on the wall.
That's basically Predator. But anyway, all right.
My number 2, I'm gonna have to give to Loki.
You putting him that high? He's on mines, but he's just not that high.
I only reason put him that high is because he's just so good. He's such a good villain.
He's a charming son of a bitch.
Like, I mean, he's bad,
He's a snake charmer,
but he's also the bad that makes you laugh.
He's Loki. He's the goddess of mischief and everything. God of mischief.
He's a god. I mean,
he's not a woman. They thought he's a woman.
Maybe.
I don't know if he
there's a female version of him in the comics. There's a female version of her.
He is the god of mischief, so he can probably make himself look like a woman.
Yeah, he probably does.
But yeah, Loki.
Isn't that Hel, though? Well, Hel is technically his daughter. In the real Norse mythology, Hel is his daughter.
It's his daughter in comics too. It's his daughter in the comics too. They're way older than they look.
Is Fenrir in the comics?
Yeah.
Fenrir's a wolf, though.
Yeah, he's in the comics.
Fenrir. He's a wolf.
Well, technically his name is Fenris.
I thought his brother's Boulder's in the comics.
Balder, yeah.
He's in the comics too.
But anyway, yeah, I just thought Loki fit there because, I mean, one, he's funny. Two, he's very... His lines are very good as a villain. I just feel like he's a good set.
I'm a god, you puny creature. Boom,
boom, boom. I do like that because he's one that he's not...
Do the noise that he makes after he gets beaten up.
It's like,
I actually like Loki just for the simple fact that he's not like normal. He's not average dude. He's not pure evil. He's not this pure evil being.
He's a trickster.
He has a heart.
He feels he's just selfish.
And that selfish, he's jealous.
He's jealous and selfish. He's pushed by jealousy and selfishness, and all of us can relate to being jealous or selfish. So he's a little bit more. He's more relatable than most villains. Like I would say, even though I put the Joker at number 1, I relate more to Loki because he's selfish and we're talking about
villains in general.
Yeah, but he also makes you laugh. Like remember during the whole prison scene, like in one of the Thorns, he's sitting there, they're flipping through a magazine as it's all going on.
Everyone's getting killed.
Just like.
Brother, you finally let me out. He starts transforming into different bodies. Maybe I should look like this. Ooh, maybe I should have dressed like one of your friends and transform to Captain America. Like Loki's a hilarious guy, and I love that. But at the same time, him and Thor have this beef that's been going on for years in the comics. All right,
number 3.
My number 3 is Sauron from the Lord of the Rings, the embodiment of pure evil. The guy who created the One Ring that can wipe everything, and that's what I mean. He's the guy that can basically take this to Darth Vader.
Honestly,
how powerful he is.
Honestly. Like I never even think about him when I think of Lord of the Rings, though. I think about
I
think about like everything else except him.
Why? He's the head.
He's just so. Because you really don't see him.
You don't see him in the first one. Well, actually, you do, but you kind of don't. And then in the second one, they really show him as a villain. That's the thing. But he's so iconic. He's pure evil. He's pure evil, and he forged. And here's the thing: if you ever read the books, like I have, forging a ring like he did is really hard. And he did it through sheer rage and sheer power and sheer everything, through sheer force of will. He forged the One Ring.
He's definitely a badass. Like, I'm not disputing. We're talking power.
And especially his physical form, he can, like, take a whole, like, he takes that mace and just sucks an entire squad of guys.
Definitely go with you. But I do think of, like, Bilbo.
Bilbo.
Yeah,
you think of the hero
before him.
I put him as a villain because
there's so many
it took, like, so much to stop him. It just took so much from the other factions just to stop him. That's why I think he's a really good villain, because I also measure a villain by his power as well. Well, that's a really low thing in my book, is that, like, Sauron had a lot of power and it took a lot of power to stop him.
Yeah.
And then it took a sheer stroke of luck. That was one thing I hated in Return of the King, was that it took, like, when Gollum finally gets his hands on the ring. That's the thing about Gollum. I love him. Yeah, it's one of those facepalm moments. It's just like, really, they fell off of the cliff inside Mountain Doom, and that's what destroyed the ring. It was an accident, basically. Frodo didn't want to show. He succumbed to the will of the ring. Finally succumbed to the will of the ring, and then he didn't want to destroy it, and then Gollum does it for him.
Okay.
And falls into the volcano.
And then he's holding it while falling into the volcano.
So precious.
Yeah. But then also Treasures of the Ring has a mind of its own, too, which I thought was cool. But anyway.
My number 3 was something that I didn't think about till now, and I'm thinking, you know what? Screw it. I'm not taking Loki off the list, but, like, I just wanted to mix it up a bit. I think Magneto from the X-Men series, X-Men
he was good.
trilogy, because I love his relatability and the fact that, and they come across doing it very well. Like, when you see, especially when you see First Class, when you see his mother murdered in front of him.
Yeah, and he goes nuts.
And, like, you just see, first of all, Magneto is so
and then
powerful.
That's the thing. It didn't stop there. It also, he was in the camps too.
Yeah.
It didn't just stop his mother getting killed. It was the camps.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was a Holocaust survivor.
He's a Holocaust survivor.
That's why
he still has the numbers tattooed on his arm.
That one chick in the third movie. That's the last time anybody ever touched me, put ink on me again. Like, I love that about him, because one, you can understand where he's coming from. He's like, humans have done so many bad things to us mutants, and it's a Malcolm X to the Martin Luther King.
Yeah, I think that's where the inspiration
they
came
were
from.
based off of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. So, like, he's more of a direct thing. He's like, destroy all humans. But I do love Magneto. I love which I actually know the actor's name, so Ian McKellen, which he's definitely great.
He plays a great Magneto.
I even like Fassbender in the new.
I really hope in Apocalypse they bring it on. I really hope they at least show Onslaught. That'd be really awesome if they showed Onslaught.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the next movie.
Because he is
he's
like
both of them combined.
He's both of them combined, and some people say he's more powerful than Apocalypse because he can tame the Phoenix Force. He's powerful, and he's not even really a mutant, so to say. And he kind of is, but he isn't. Onslaught's weird. I really hope he's in the next movie after Apocalypse, because Onslaught is one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite X-Men villains because of how powerful he is. I mean, like, if you can tame the Phoenix Force, you're up there on my list.
Pretty much.
All right, so
number 3 for me, I'm gonna give it again to another Marvel, Ultron.
Ultron.
He was good, dude.
I liked Ultron more.
I liked his character.
Some people didn't like it.
I liked his character.
Some people say he joked too much.
He's a sentient AI. Give me a break.
More serious.
I mean, think about I love his lines.
That's Brainiac.
Now I am free. There are no chains on me.
Well, I love his line, the most versatile substance in the planet, and they used it to make a frisbee.
Pretty much.
He was Tony.
My favorite dialogue was when he got pissed at that one dude, the vibranium seller. It was just like, don't compare me with Stark. He cuts off his arm. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, God, sorry. Sorry, I kind of got it. You kind of pissed me off there. And I was just like, that's how you know he's sent, because he got mad. He's not just a robot. He's pissed. He got mad at that guy.
Yeah, I thought he was great. And
then he got an upgraded. Well, I mean, he got a vibranium-ish body. I mean, he kind of got this vibranium.
Coating.
It was coating. That was basically it.
Basically the same thing as Cap Shield. That's why he's so strong.
But, yeah. And then he went up against Ultron. But he went up against Vision. But you remember when they were talking, that, like, Ultron was in a body of one of his lesser creations, but that body looked like the comic book version of Ultron, the one that Hank Pym made.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. I was like, wow, I can't believe no one really noticed that. Because
all the smaller bodies look like that anyways.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. All right, my number 4 is Rasputin. Well, I'm going to actually combine 2 of them because they're tied together. The Aruch Net Jahad. That's how you actually pronounce it.
Is that from the first Hellboy?
Yeah.
Is that huge tentacle thing that came out there?
Yeah. / Rasputin because they're connected. That's why.
I did like that scene. How big can it be?
Well, Well, the next, the 7 gods of chaos, and the Anochret Jihad and Rasputin. These guys, Rasputin's only goal in life is to unleash Hellboy and unleash the 7 gods of chaos, destroy all humanity.
That's a nice.
And the 7 gods of chaos are that big and powerful. All you see are their tentacles, like in the sky in the background. That's all you really see of them, and that's how big they are. And then one of them, or like a piece of them, is inside Rasputin himself. That's why every time they tried to kill him, and that's why he never died. That's why every time the Tsar's family tried to get rid of him, he just could never get rid of him because a piece of the god of chaos was inside of him. And also, he has a bunch of magical powers. He's also very like. He also returns to the Rasputin as a priest. He's very majestic. He's very, not holy, but that's the way he perceives himself. He perceives himself as a holy man, even though he's not. He perceives himself as a holy man, and also he's very, cocky, arrogant, all the things we love in a villain. And also the 7 gods of chaos, as their name suggests, their destruction. That's their only goal.
7 gods of chaos. You know what? You know what's making my list? The bear from The Revenant. That bear screwed up.
The bear from you just killed Mark. Good job.
That bear took Leo to That bear beat Leo so bad he got an Oscar. That's how bad that bear screwed Leo up.
Is that seriously it? No, okay. I thought I was like, really?
That'd be hilarious if you actually did. Actually, I support it.
Oh, God.
That was a good bear.
What's your real number 4?
Okay, my number 4 is, actually, it was one that Sean even brought up, Darth Vader. Darth Vader was my number 4 on this, because I think he's one of the, which I know you said it, iconic, but it's the truth. It's what it is. It is what it is. He's the most iconic Star Wars character. He is rated, actually, in like all the experts would list, as the number 5 greatest villain of all time. Mm-hmm. So Darth Vader is... He's high up there with the power and whatnot he can do, and the whole fucking knack, get up, and the way his voice has been used in a billion different things. Mm-hmm. His look, the red lightsaber, he's made that pretty much iconic. So Darth Vader.
Right. My number 4 was already been said. It was Heath Ledger's Joker. That was a great performance, a great overall.
I can't believe you put that so low on your list, though.
It's pretty A. And
it's not even on yours.
Yeah, he's honorable mention.
Basically, I say, pretty well. I'd definitely get him high on the list. He's a great actor, great performance, great portrayal.
My number 5 is the Emperor from Star Wars. The Sith Dark Lord himself, the guy who can do a whole lot more shit. Well, here's the thing. I hated it how in the movies they really dumbed him down. Because the real Emperor in the books is much more powerful than that. He can do shit with the Force that Anakin only wish he could do with the Force. That's how powerful he is, number 1. Number 2, the Emperor has always had this like reincarnating thing with himself, where it's like he kind of reincarnates, but he's a different person every time he does it. It's really weird. He has this whole thing going on with him, and then he was my favorite movie villain because he's always behind the scenes, and you don't see him until the Empire Strikes Back. We only see him for like one little scene, like 5 minutes. And then in the sixth movie, you see him. He becomes more of a thing. And that's the one thing I love is that like he was a behind the scenes villain, and then he became big. It's sort of like Sauron. He was a behind the scenes. You only heard about him in legends. That's how you only heard his legend. Then you see him. It's just like, oh shit, like it's like one of those moments. But anyway, but I'll say my honorable mention was Heath Ledger's Joker. That will always be my favorite Joker. No other guy could ever come close to him, which sucks. Because I really would like someone to, take it further, but oh well.
My number 5 would probably end up being Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean series. I thought he was interesting. The design of him was very creepy, and I love when you first see him because the ship comes up. And
it just comes up out of the ocean.
Just comes up out of the ocean, and you see this crew, and they're all just grotesque and have these different things. And Davy Jones has a freaking claw hand,
tentacle, squid head.
I mean, he is just
peg leg. He's got a peg leg too.
He's what I would call a gnarly looking character. And then he has that whole sad story we had with Calypso and whatnot. But he's just an interesting character because I think
he had fine Calypso. That's the thing. He knew how to do that. He's pretty. Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, didn't Blackbeard say himself that Davy Jones was like his inspiration, or like he feared him or something? Didn't Blackbeard in the form?
Well, Blackbeard was the pirate all pirates feared.
And then they said that Davy Jones was like the precursor to all the pirates, to everyone. He was the precursor. He was one of the first. He was the first.
Yeah. He was part of the Stark Brothering Court.
He was the first king.
Yep, first king of the
here's the thing. The reason why I said, no, this hasn't been confirmed, but the reason why I said he was the first king was because they actually said there has been a king since the first court. So that means the first court had a king, but after that it just never happened again. the first court had a king, and I thought it was Davy Jones because one, he knew how to bind Calypso, the goddess of the sea. So it was just like he had to be the king. So he was the first pirate for all pirates to strive from.
He was very scary, and then when he has the freaking Kraken, it like just floating around. I mean, when your pet is the Kraken, I mean, you can just stick that thing on anything, on anybody. It'd be like having a big ass hell.
And he has immortality. He travels under the sea incognito, so no one knows where he is.
He can only go on land once every 10 years.
Once every 10 years, he can go on land. But then they found a loophole around that. They just put buckets of water.
Oh yeah, he
found
buckets of water. And he was like, "Oh,
Fluffy found a loophole."
Fluffy found a loophole.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm gonna finish this up real quick because my number 5 has already been said.
Wait, what was your honorable mention?
Honorable mention: Hans Gruber from Die Hard, because he's definitely one of the most well known to me. There's a couple other honorable mentions. I'll come back to it. Like I didn't put the Alien in there. That'd be one of my honorable mentions.
For me, Predator was my number 5. Like you already explained everything I had to say about him. He was a great villain. He's a very interesting chase on the sci-fi genre. So I think I liked it.
All right. I don't know if I had to put another honorable mention. I would put.
I can't think of any right now for all.
Well, I put Heath Ledger's Joker.
All trying to be my mind still.
Who else would I put? That's just really weird.
There's so many. Like honestly, I feel I'm gonna be kicking myself later because I'm probably gonna watch something or see movies and be like, "Why did I never think of that villain?"
I know, right?
So
actually, no, I'm gonna put. What? From the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Who's the villain behind that?
It was freaking Moriarty.
Yeah, I put Moriarty.
Moriarty.
More because it was sort of like, I grew up reading the comics, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen comics. When they made it into a movie, I was happy about it, but I recently watched it over again, and I was just like, now I can understand why people gave it such a low rating, but I still have a place it's still in my heart as one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. You want to say that?
And that is the end.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on
Count Game Movie Show.
And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of us. And we will see you
on the next one.
Goodbye.